Hello everybody, welcome to the Brooklynite TV podcast, where we dive deep into the heart of Brooklyn and beyond. I'm your host Frank, and today we're tackling some pressing issues that are shaking the very foundations of New York City politics. In this episode, we'll discuss the growing frustration surrounding Mayor Eric Adams' recent resignations within his administration and the challenges facing our beloved city. So whether you're commuting, relaxing at home, or just looking to stay informed, let's get started. In the recent weeks, New York City has found itself at the center of a political storm with calls for Mayor Eric Adams to resign, growing louder amid mounting scandals and controversies. The pressures intensified following a series of high-profile resignations from his cabinet, which have raised serious questions about the stability and integrity of his administration. Notably, Lisa Zornberg, his chief of staff, and Edward Caban, the commissioner of the NYPD, stepped down under the weight of criticism, marking a significant shakeup in the mayor's inner circle. Additionally, federal prosecutors are also reportedly investigating the three Banks brothers, Deputy Mayor of Public Safety Phil Banks, the school's chancellor David Banks, and their brother, former MTA official Terrence Banks. Reportedly, investigators are looking into whether David Banks and Phil Banks helped steer city contracts to their brother Terrence Banks' consulting firm, and if Terrence Banks was working as an unregistered lobbyist. Deputy Mayor Sheena Wright also is the fiancée of David Banks, also had her phone seized as part of this investigation, although it's unclear if investigators are targeting her as well. Separately, federal investigators are also reportedly looking into whether Adams and his campaign received illegal donations from the federal government. Adams had his phone taken away by the FBI as part of that probe, and his top campaign fundraiser had a home raided. Now, these recent exits could signal deeper issues within the administration, as both officials were seen as pivotal in shaping Adams' policies in response to the city's pressing challenges. Compounding these leadership issues are the ongoing raids and investigations into the activities of individuals within Adams' office. Reports indicate that federal agents have been conducting raids targeting Winnie Greco, a key advisor, and others closely connected to the mayor. Winnie Greco recently resigned from a position within Mayor Adams' administration. It has further compounded the instability at City Hall. As a key aide involved in community engagement and outreach, her departure reflects the broader challenges facing the mayor's leadership amid mounting criticism and scandal. Greco's exit comes on the heels of another high-profile resignation, including that of Lisa Zornberg, the chief counsel, and several others who have left their posts in recent months. This trend raises serious concerns about the internal dynamics of Adams' team and the effectiveness of his administration in addressing the city's pressing issues. These investigations are focused on potential corruption, including the mismanagement of city resources and questionable financial dealings. As these raids unfold, the atmosphere in City Hall has grown increasingly tense, with staff reportedly feeling on the edge about their positions and the implications of these inquiries. Moreover, allegations regarding Mayor Adams' ties to Turkish interests have surfaced, raising further ethical concerns. Reports suggest that he may have received campaign contributions from Turkish sources, which, if proven correct, could lead to serious legal ramifications for him. The situation highlights the delicate balance of political financing and the need for transparency and leadership. The implications of these allegations are significant, particularly in a city as diverse as New York, where trust and leadership is paramount. As these scandals unfold, the impact on the city itself is becoming increasingly evident. Many New Yorkers are expressing their frustrations, noting that under Adams' leadership, the city appears to be unraveling. The migrant crisis has reached critical levels, with the city struggling to provide adequate housing and services for the influx of individuals seeking asylum. Critics argue that the administration's response has been inadequate, with migrants running rampant and communities feeling the strain on public resources. The situation has sparked heated debates about immigration policy and the city's capacity to manage these challenges effectively. Additionally, the rising crime rates in some neighborhoods have further exacerbated the perception that Adams is failing to ensure public safety. His policy on policing and community safety have drawn mixed reactions, with some praising his attempts at reform, while others decrying the perceived lack of accountability and effectiveness. These issues converge to create a narrative of a city in disarray, struggling under the weight of unresolved problems and ineffective leadership. For a mayor of color, the ramifications of these scandals are particularly complex. Eric Adams' election was seen as a significant moment for representation in a city where diversity is one of the greatest strengths. However, being embroiled in corruption allegations and facing calls for resignation can undermine not only his legacy, but also the progress made towards diversity in leadership. The scrutiny he faces is amplified by the historical context of racial and political dynamics, making it essential for him to navigate these challenges with care. The weight of these issues speaks to a broader social concerns about accountability, integrity, and expectations placed on leaders from marginalized communities. As the calls for his resignation grow louder, the question remains, what will it take for Mayor Adams to step down? It seems that a critical factor could be the outcome of ongoing investigations. Should these inquiries produce clear evidence of wrongdoing, public pressure could reach a boiling point, compelling him to resign. Furthermore, if the situation regarding the migrant crisis deteriorates further, or if crime rates escalate, the public's frustration may become too much for him to bear. The convergence of these factors of corruption, public safety, and community trust will be pivotal in determining the future of Adams' administration. Mayor Eric Adams has become a focal point of frustration and disappointment for many New Yorkers, with his administration facing significant criticism for a perceived lack of leadership amid ongoing chaos. From the wave of resignations within his cabinet, including key figures like Lisa Zornberg and Winnie Greco, to the troubling investigation into corruption, Adams' tenure has been marred by instability and controversy. Under his watch, the city has grappled with a myriad of challenges, including a rising crime rate and an escalating migrant crisis. Many residents feel that his administration has failed to provide a coherent and effective response to these pressing issues. Instead of instilling confidence, Adams often appeared reactive rather than proactive, leading to a growing sense of chaos and uncertainty. Moreover, the allegations surrounding his connections to questionable financial dealings, particularly with foreign interests, have further eroded his public trust. The perception that his administration is not only chaotic but also potentially corrupt has left many feeling disillusioned. Adams' inability to effectively manage these scandals and communicate a clear vision for the city reflects a fundamental failure in leadership. In light of these challenges and the growing disconnect amongst New Yorkers, it is increasingly clear that Adams must take responsibility for the state of his administration. His lack of device actions and accountability raises serious questions about his suitability to lead a city as complex and vibrant as New York. The calls for him to step down are not merely political, they represent a collective yearning for effective governance and a return to stability. As the city continues to face unprecedented challenges, the need for strong and transparent leadership has never been more crucial. Adams' ongoing struggles suggest that a change in leadership may be necessary for New York City to move forward and rebuild trust with its residents. In conclusion, New York City is at a crossroads, and the actions of Mayor Adams in the upcoming weeks will be closely watched. His ability to address the pressing issues facing the city and to navigate the scandals surrounding his leadership will ultimately define his tenure. Whether he can emerge from this turmoil and regain the trust of New York remains to be seen. But the stakes are undoubtedly high for both him and the city he leads. As we wrap up today's discussion, it's impossible to ignore the frustration that many New Yorkers feel towards Mayor Eric Adams and his administration. The ongoing chaos, resignations, and scandals have left residents yearning for strong, decisive leadership that can address the pressing issues facing our city. The current state of affairs is simply unacceptable, and it's clear that change is needed. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. If you found this discussion valuable, please like, subscribe, and share with others. Your support helps me keep the conversation going. Until next time, thank you guys. Thank you all for listening.